I just came down for some water and a
chaos.
cookie, and all of a sudden the boat's sinking.
Look at this. The adventure begins.
Echoes into infinity. I mean, it's a tragedy. We just dinghied around the corner to the port of San Miguel. It's not really a port, it's more like a hotel land. There's huge hotels and a couple of restaurants, but the bay here is really nice, and there's a hike that you can do up to a tower.
What? Oh my gosh, this is narrow.
Yeah.
Whoa, echo. Holy moly.
Wow. That's crazy.
It's kind of spooky.
It's like reverb.
Because it's just never ending.
It's like echoes into infinity.
Oh my gosh, you can go up one more. Going up this stairs. Is it really tight? Oh. Amazing.
I didn't expect it to be this good. So we're anchored just over there. We dinghied in, long dinghy ride, and then walked from down there up. And to be honest, it was all a bit longer than we expected, but this is really worth it. Reflection.
Cala Benirras is a pretty special place. Every Sunday, although it happened to be every day when we were there, lots of people come together on the beach to play drums, jam, and have a boogie. There's a beautiful, open and inclusive vibe, the drummers are the real deal, and the setting is idyllic. We really loved it. What happened?
Because the wind keeps shifting on, the stern anchor ended up just fouling around the primary anchor.
Oh, really?
It's all wrapped around it. Luckily it wasn't too deep, I was able to dive down there and untie the stern anchor line and then undo all the knots and then tie it back on. So
So we're on our way to Mallorca. We just left this morning, and for now there's still not very much wind. We've stopped the boat and we're gonna get in the water for a bit of a dip because it's so hot, isn't it, Lars?
yeah, I can't wait, this is gonna feel great.
Woohoo! Whoa, nice one! Okay, I'm coming in.
Misinterpreted text, holding great ideas hidden nightly by the side of believers' bed.
Whee!
When we're not in the same room, you're not.
They gained us about 2.5 knots, which actually might get us in before dark, so massive wave, even though we had to dig it out from under the kite gear and snorkeling gear, and it was really at the bottom of the locker. And it's paid off though, happy we got it out.
I just want to be enough.
I just came down to Lars saying that the bilge was full of water and then the bilge pump didn't work, so yeah, we had to manually use the manual bilge pump.
Alex did a good job on the manual bilge pump, and we got the water out, and also we have a separate sort of crash pump thing here, you can see, which is basically like a bilge pump, a movable bilge pump attached to some hose. So I threw that down into the bilge, and anyway, we made short work of it. But now the question remains, what was the water? I think two things happened. I think one, we didn't close the seacock in the head, and we were heeling over quite a bit at one point. So a bit of water might have come up through the head sink. But also our water tank is empty.
Yeah,
and it shouldn't
not the
be,
flexible one obviously.
because we've been running the water maker loads. I think just all the water from the water maker has just been going into the bilge. I don't know what's gone wrong with it, but I don't want flexible tanks on my boat anymore.
But it was a bit of a scare because we weren't sure what it was, and
It was a lot of water. It's the most I've seen in the bilge, and like all the beers and everything in here were just floating
Soaked.
around in water. Yeah. When you see that, you don't know.
where it's coming from.
Yeah, or if it's like, has it just started and you're just noticing it, and it's like really the boat is sinking?
Yeah.
Luckily not, it seems like. Also, we just fixed the float switch on the bilge pump,
Like
and it
3
seems to
weeks
have
ago.
like died on us again. And I went for the cheap one. I went for the Chinese knockoff one. Yeah, well, I mean, one of them was 20 euros and one of them was like 80 euros. And I asked the guy in the chandlery, like, what's the difference? He says, oh, well, this one's a brand and this one isn't. But maybe
Well, that's probably it then.
Maybe that's it, but still, it's brand new.
Yeah, but you don't want to take any chances with that.
Yeah.
And it was like your bilge pump.
So there you go. Just as we were having a really chilled, like, book reading sesh and chat, the wind's great, we're cruising along, and you come down here. I just came down for some water
It's
and a
chaos.
cookie, and then all of a sudden, the boat's sinking.
Same room. You're not here, you're just a guest.
So we got into Santa Ponsa last night, and it's really nice to be here. It's kind of like Cruiser Central, because there's just loads of cruising boats anchored up around here because it's a really sheltered, protected anchorage. Had a really nice morning, jumped in the water, I did some yoga on deck, Lars meditated, and now we've got set up for Lars delivering some meditation classes this morning, and luckily the 4G is good, so...
Yo, just getting ready. Lights, camera, action. No. I don't know, maybe we haven't talked about this on camera yet, but
Maybe not.
Part of the way that we make this work financially is that I teach meditation to businesses. I have a few corporate clients and I run meditation courses. The way it works is I talk people through the neuroscience of meditation, basically, and each session is focused on a different topic or different practice. So I front load the session as like, what is the practice, why might we do it, and what is some of the research behind, you know, what we know this practice does to our physiology and psychology. And then we do the practice together, and then we talk about it afterwards, and people can ask questions and discuss. And honestly, I love it. It's a little bit stressful just because it means that every Tuesday and every Friday for almost 4 months I need to have really good connection and still water and be sort of well slept and fed and watered and everything to be able to deliver the courses, which is not obvious from a boat. But we figured now over the summer, since we don't have a really tight timeline and tight schedule, we'll just sort of prioritize this, you know, take the money, and then maybe don't do any courses then afterwards when we start looking out to the Atlantic and stuff like that. So.
Yeah, we decided to come to Palma and check it out because we'd heard really good things, and last time we were in Mallorca we didn't get a chance to come. Oh, sorry. Maybe you should hold it. So here we are.
To be honest, I'm craving a little bit of city time. I kind of want to just go and eat and drink coffees and
yeah, like all the things you can't find in little beach towns and
conveniences,
stuff. Just
basically.
Yeah. Veggie food, basically.
Yeah, true. Surprised me. It's like turn the corner and then boom, cathedral.
Welcome to Palma. Palma de Mallorca is another example of a Mediterranean city with a long and complex history that reaches back to pre-Roman times. It changed hands over the centuries, from the Romans to the Byzantines, the Moors in the 10th century, and the Christians in the Middle Ages, before finally becoming a part of Spain. We spent the afternoon strolling down the streets of the old town, taking it all in.
Love you with all my heart. Love you whenever we're together. Love you when we're apart.
So we've come to check out a neighborhood in Palma called Santa Catalina, which we've heard good things about, and so far we like what we see. It's kind of, apparently it used to be the old fishing, like an old fishing village or part of Palma, and now it's just got lots of little restaurants and bars
really
and cafes,
cute.
Really quaint.
Yeah, I love it.
And then all the streets have got like these beautiful trees around them as well. So
What do you want to do?
let's go find a place to have a drink.
Yeah? Alright, let's do it. Feels like a cross between Barcelona, Granada, which are also all in an island, and there's mountains and great nature, and it's really chill. Like everybody's really friendly. There's just a really nice vibe. I don't know. It also kind of feels like New Orleans, weirdly. I don't know how to explain it.
It's like the balconies and the wrought iron, I think.
Yeah. And then there's just influences from all over the Med and Arabic, and it's just beautiful. I love it. I can't believe how big Palma is as a city. It's like, I don't know, you kind of think of the Balearics and you think these little towns, these little islands, you can't imagine there being an actual city anymore, but it's like being in Barcelona or Paris or something. It's huge. Loads to explore.
These must have been the old fishermen houses.
And when at last I find you, your song will fill the air. Sing it loud so I can hear you. Make it easy.
Feels weird being in an airport, doesn't it? I feel like we should be traveling. We haven't traveled much on the plane since, well, obviously COVID, and I guess having a boat as well. We can't leave the boat anymore, so it's kind of funny. Anyway, we're here to rent a car, and we are going to just explore the island.
The adventure begins. We've just got the car. arrived at our first stop on the road trip, which is Valldemossa, and it's so far really beautiful, just really green, loads of trees around, stoned walled houses, and just everything seems to fit in with the landscape around it, which is beautiful.
I'm hungry. Let's eat. Coca batata, which is a dessert from here that's made with flour and potato. Also, we got the one with Nutella. So. Looks really good. That's really, really, really nice. It's like really light and fluffy.
Does it taste like a bolla?
It does taste a bit like a bolla, but there's no cardamom in it. But it's the same kind of experience.
Texture.
It's the kind of thing I think you could just eat again and again and again. Wow.
Okay, I'm going in.
No, you're kidding.
We finished it in about 5 seconds. We went for another one immediately. This is just so good. Oh, look at this. Valldemossa is a quaint village up in the hills on the northern coast of Mallorca. It's home to a monastery that was previously the royal palace and residence of the King Sancho of Mallorca in the 1300s. Over the years, it also attracted a lot of artists and writers who moved to Valldemossa, including people like Chopin and writer George Sand. Time for dinner.
Nice. How good has today been?
Today's been so good. No.
Changing dinner table
Let's go.
because we can't see the sunset from here.
First world problems, huh?
Yeah, I mean it's a tragedy. I'll still take 60 though.
Thanks for watching this far, and a huge thank you to our patrons for supporting the production of these videos.